Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Nice to see all of you. I don't think I've ever seen such a big room. Today I wanted to talk to you about a very important topic, a very serious topic, which is addiction. More specifically, what I would consider my biggest addiction, but a lighthearted, a little bit more playful version of that. My addiction is actually very plain for you all to see. It's something that I physically carry around with me every single day, an object, a thing that I literally wear on my sleeve. It's my Apple Watch. You might be thinking, what do I mean I'm addicted? How did this start? Perhaps more importantly, what have I done about it, or what am I thinking about doing about it? Well, let's go back to the beginning, to where it all started. Like all bad habits, a friend got me into it. She was extolling the virtues of the Apple Watch. She was saying that she was getting more steps. She was exercising more regularly. Her mental health had improved because she was taking more frequent breaks throughout the day. And the research backed it up. Research shows that people who have wearable devices take, on average, 2,000 more steps than people who don't. And that fitness trackers do actually increase short-term, but does increase physical exercise and general mental well-being. And I thought, I like data, I certainly like exercise, I love walking, what could go wrong? Well, turns out the Apple Watch is less of a device and more of an extremely judgmental life coach that is strapped to you at all moments of the day, observing you, giving you unsolicited feedback, literally physically shaking you with haptic alerts to get your attention and to get you to do something about it. On to the second question. What do I mean that I'm addicted to my Apple Watch? Well, let me give you a couple of examples. Imagine me laying peacefully in bed, about to go to sleep, only to realize with despair that I have exactly 18 calories left to close my move goal. At which point I am wildly flailing my arms, trying to get my heart rate up so I can hit precisely 750 calories tracked on my move goal. Or imagine me sneaking out of the house in the middle of the day for a small lap around the neighborhood, needing to start my Apple Watch, trying to hide that fact from my husband because I realize that it is ridiculous that I have to track even a 5-minute walk, but I do. Or imagine me sitting on the couch after a long day, finally able to relax, probably with a beer in hand, only for my Apple Watch to all of a sudden alert me that I do still have time to fit in an exercise, only to be then filled with immense grief and regret that I'm yet again going to disappoint the robot because there's absolutely no chance I will be doing an exercise at 8 p.m. at night. So again, my Apple Watch wasn't really for checking the time or checking my messages, or checking my calls. It was checking my self-worth. So what's happened? When did my moment of clarity come? It was about a year ago. Moment of clarity didn't come from myself or my friends or even my therapist, but actually just from a packing mishap. I was going on a week-long trip and much to my terror realized that I had forgotten to pack my Apple Watch charger. And a few days in, I realized I was exhibiting all of the classic 5 stages of grief. It was denial. This can't be happening. I'm sure someone on this trip I'm with has one. Maybe I can go buy one. Then it turned into anger. This is really happening. Why should I even go on this hike? I won't know how many miles I hiked. What's even the point, right? All the way down to bargaining. I thought maybe if I put it on low power mode, it'll last a few more hours. Who knows, it may be a few more days. Then deep depression. Again, this can't be happening. I won't know my average heart rate. I won't know my elevation gain on my bike ride. What's the point to life? What's the point of living? And finally, some acceptance, realizing that, in fact, I could actually do all of the things I had planned to do during this vacation. I could go on a bike ride, I could hike, and in fact, even though my watch wasn't tracking it, it did actually happen. And I had been doing this for many years before I had the Apple Watch. it was a bit of a moment of clarity. So yes, I could still enjoy my time, still do all the things that I normally did, and I figured this was a very small, untracked step in the right direction. I'm at the point now where I've realized that I can still wear my Apple Watch, and I can still like all the data that it gives me, and I can still feel that dopamine rush when I close all my rings. It's very natural. I have looked into the research of it. It's a true thing. But that also, it's not strictly necessary. One thing that I have done is I have turned off the passive-aggressive late-night reminders. I no longer get the push notifications that urge me to move every hour when I clearly can't because I'm on 8 hours of work calls. I also no longer get pings or notifications when my friends have completed a workout, which invariably stokes the competitive nature in me. And I most certainly have stopped flailing my arms like a maniac or a madwoman in bed, which has been a welcome development as well. In fact, I might not even close my rings tonight. I can't help but feel a tinge of disappointment, but in the end, I think it's okay. And I think my biggest addiction has turned more into a slight obsession. Thank you.